What's going on YouTube? Welcome back to LTH, and my name is Abe, and in this video I want to show you guys KitchenOwl. And so what is KitchenOwl? It's essentially a meal planner, recipe maker slash watcher, and a shopping list creator, so you can keep your grocery budget down, not buy too much food, schedule your recipes, and create a shopping list all in one. So let's get on with the video. Okay, so what you want to do is just log into your TrueNAS device and then click Applications, Discover Apps on the top, and then search for KitchenOwl, and we have it right here, and then click Install. And we're just going to change a couple parameters here, but the default are pretty A-okay. So we have the application KitchenOwl for the name. You need to switch your time zone to whatever's local to you. Ours is going to be Denver. And then for the database password and the JWT secret key, go ahead and set these to something that you can remember. And then we're going to go down to network configuration, click add, and it'll just be the host IP of our server, which is our TrueNAS device, and then the port 302.11. And then under data storage configuration, we don't need to change anything. The default configs works, as well as the resource configuration default works as well. So this is a very simple install. I just want to show you the usefulness of this tool and how to get the most out of it. Okay, once your machine is shown as running, you can just go to your TrueNAS device's IP address and then the port 30,211. And then create a username and a password and log in. And then we are presented with this portal, which looks like almost nothing. We have no household. So we're going to click the plus icon at the bottom, name our household to whatever you want. I'm going to name it My House. And then the features, you can turn them on and off, and kind of organize your screen how you want, or add an image and then click add at the bottom. Okay, and so once we're logged into our household, the first thing I want to show you is go down to settings and you have themes. So I'm going to switch this to dark mode so my eyes don't bleed, and then you can switch your shopping list to a list or a grid style. That's up to you, and your item size is smaller, default, or larger. And then remove item interaction, you can tap or confirm. I prefer the confirm method, so I'm going to show you the confirm method because tap is it just moves it off a list real quick, and you don't really confirm, and I feel like it's not as intuitive personally. And so once we leave our settings, we're here at our shopping list menu. There's two ways to add items to your shopping list: manually or through your recipes. So if I go up here and I type apples, I can add apple puree, apples, maple syrup, whatever to my list. So I'm just going to select apples, and if I hover over it, we can add a description. So I could put like 3 apples, and I could add it to a category if I wanted to: fruits, veggies, whatever. If we want to, I guess I'll add it to fruits, and then you can see who it was added by if you're curious. And so now my shopping list shows 3 apples, and if I click on it, we can see a little check mark shows up on the bottom. I can confirm that's been taken off my list, and now it's under the recent items tab. So if I type bread, and let me just add another item, and I'm going to go here and say breadcrumbs, I guess, and just grab 1 container of 20 ounces. I don't know if they even sell a 20-ounce container of breadcrumbs. And now we can see what items we've already bought while we were at the grocery store and what items we have not. And then I check it off, and now it's below there. Now, the real powerful way of using this app, in my opinion, is through the recipes tab, so we don't overbuy our groceries. So under the recipe tab, if we click the plus icon in the bottom right, we can add recipes manually. So maybe you have one in a cookbook or a scrapbook or a friend, or in a website where it doesn't work, you can add it here, because sometimes cooking websites won't let us parse our their website for the recipe, so you'll have to manually add it, but once you do, you never have to do it again, right? So name, recipe source, the website link that you used or wherever, a description, you can add the ingredients and do that way, but the powerful way of using this app is using the link icon the link icon. Jeez. And so if I go in here and I type this link in and I click add, boom, it grabbed everything we need. 2 cups of all-purpose flour, but it didn't grab an icon. So if I just want to grab an icon, I can search for an icon and add it, or just give it a name if there's not one there. Sometimes they load, sometimes they may not. You can give it whatever ones. If you want to add egg salad as the icon, I guess you could. And then like you would put 2 cups of flour. And then we would do 3 large eggs, a half a tablespoon. So we'll do olive oil. If you do that, salt, and then you click next, we can see that it grabbed the website, it grabbed the name, it grabbed the preparation time, the instructions, place the flour to clean work surface and make a nest, add the eggs, olive oil, and salt to the center and use a fork to gently stir them. And then it gives you your ingredients down here. Now I just wanted to show you this. If you notice, it did not add the amounts. It grabbed the title, but it was unable to grab them. So you would need to add those right here if you remember them, or you go to the website and you grab them, or when you were on the previous page, you would click the dots and put it in the description right here. So 1/2 tablespoon, and then 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then click next, at the top right, click add our recipe, and now we have a recipe. So if we click on a recipe, we can add this to our meal plan or add these 4 ingredients to our shopping list. So now if I go up to my shopping list, I have items on my shopping list in the exact quantity that I need for my recipes for this upcoming week's meals. So you never buy too much. Or you look at your list real quick, you go into your cupboard, you say, oh, I definitely have at least 4 cups of flour left, but I only need 2 cups of flour for the rest of this week. That's okay. I won't buy any flour, so I can take this off my shopping list and just have these items that I need to go and buy. Now, the other awesome thing is when we click on a recipe, we can add to our meal plan. And then if we go down to our meal planner, we can click on our meal and then pick a date and click OK and add it to a meal. And I did that backwards. So if I go to recipes, add to meal plan, go to meal plan, it's already right here, but I can select the day at which I want this meal plan to be. So I can click the 25th, and then we can see that I have added it. And so in this case, it's saying, oh, you're going to eat it on Tuesday and Friday, right? And so you can go down here, add it, and decide on whatever days you want to eat it on. So one thing I do want to show though, under the recipes tab, if we click the plus icon, some websites will not let you scrub their website. So if I go in here and I type this, we can see it does not work. That's not an error of the application. That's just sometimes the configuration of the website just doesn't allow bots to go out and grab their recipes because they want people to actually click on it, look at all the ads, and then make money off of you. But that's it for this video. I hope you guys find this interesting, that you can create shopping lists, keep your recipes. Then once you're ready to make your recipe, you can follow the instructions. And then you can also plan all your meals within here. And if you would like, you can also do a monthly budget of your household expenses for your food if you would like to track the amount you spent. Just another added feature. I don't really use this feature, so I'm not going to really cover it in this video. But thank you for watching. My name is Abe, signing off with another video.